What's up, my fellow American and international Kastaplast lovers? I figured I should do in the bag for this season. Many of you might know me or have bought something from me the latest years. I've been with Kastaplast for like 7 years and have a long history with helping them get started producing discs once upon a time in the early years of 2012. So started off with a 3D printed Rask, and now here we are 11 years later. Let's start off with the putters. My main putting putters are this first run Rico K3. A beautiful putter. I love it. It's just flies up in the air and dives into the bag, into the basket. Love it. Wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I will cry when it's too beaten up to use. That's why I'm only putting with this one when it matters. Not practicing too much with this one. It just knows how to fly into the basket. Same thing, I have a team, K3 Rico as well. This also is a very good throwing putter. Very straight with a subtle turn, and just keeps that turn and flies to the ground. Pretty basic and very predictable. Also K3 Hard Rico for those more situations where I need more beefiness, and that's also in the category I have them here. So K3 Hard, a little more beefiness, also used when putting in a bit more extreme situations or maybe winds and so on. I want a little bit more hook into the basket. I take the K3 Hard. Same with K1 Soft, also a beautiful throwing putter. I love this one for throwing. Keeps the line with a slight fade all the way, and the slow speed fade is very predictable with this one. And then Rico X first run. Just a more beefy style Rico. Love it for throwing when I need the more overstable more overstable flight. Rico X is the one to use. Also a good flick disc, having the anhyzer, keep the anhyzer and bam into the basket. I use that one. And also point and shoot Rico, Berg K3, love it. It's me and Scott Stokely, we love our K3 Bergs. If you haven't tried the K3 Berg, do it. You can thank me later by switching me or PayPal or Venmo. I love the Berg K3. Flick into the basket. I have also two K2 Bergs. Old trusty here, the white one. Also a very dear disc to me. Had it from the start. Basically second run Berg, I think. Very domey. Has that flight you want out of the Berg when you want it more overstable, and flick it and it will turn back and pop onto the ground just behind the basket or in front of the basket. Also a first run Berg. Not as domey as the white one, but almost. Love this one too. Some say I'm crazy for throwing the first run Berg, but I love it, so I will do that anyway. Into the bag, the big compartment, I have first the yarn. Yep, overstable machine. We'll keep the hyzer line, whatever, love it, and semi-far throwing, so beautiful disc. Svea K3 Hard, might be surprising to many, not to me. I've fallen in love with K3 Hard one. Put it on a hyzer flip and it will do that, and it will turn quite much, but still end up with a pretty straight flight. Also, the first run Svea, a bit more flippy for me, but yeah, that's why I use it. In those situations where I need a more flippy one, I take the first run. And we venture into the mids even further, and we head into the Kaxe range. Kaxe. I have a K31, the cocky one. Love this one. Very straight flyer with a subtle fade. Beautiful. And the Kaxe Z K1. A bit more straight flying with a more noticeable fade. Not much turn for me. I don't have the arm, but beautiful disc. White on white. Cool. 173 grams. Into the Kaxe, regular Kaxe. 172. Pre-flight number X out. A bit more beefy. You shouldn't estimate the flying capabilities of the Kaxe. More of a hybrid than a mid. With the diameter, it's more of a driver, I would say, fairway. Love it. Flies far. Into the real fairway drivers, we have this first round Falk, hyzer flip machine. Love it to death. I will cry when this one eventually maybe dies or isn't in my possession anymore. It's so good. Hyzer flip, turn, 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 glide, glide, glide. That's why we like the Falk. For those straight shots through the woods with the hyzer flip, love it. This is a pre-flight number Falk as well, K1. Beefy as hell. One of the first ones. It just matures into a beefier version. I can't believe it. Usually they get more understable with time. This one's just more beefy over time. So I love it with the glide, the small turn, predictable fade. That's Falk. And another one. This is between those two in stability. So when I don't want as much of a flip, I take this one. And then we go into Lutz. Lutz, first run. Flies farther for me now than the Falk, but with a more of a fade, but very predictable fade, but more fade than the Falk. And regular run Lutz. This one is a bit less flippy than the first round one. So this is my farthest throwing disc. My arm maxes out this disc, not more than that. So that's Lutz. And then we get into more overstable division. And these don't go farther for me. They just have a more overstable flight for when you need that, for the flexes, for the hyzer bombs and so on. And we start out with the stall. The first run X out, 174 grams. It's like the Lutz, but super beefy. Love it for those not as far of a hyzer bombs. The Lutz is the one. You can notice that I don't speak of forehand at all. I'm not much of a forehand guy, but you know the drill. You know the ones that work with forehands as well. I don't. Grim X, now it's the distance drivers. I don't throw as far with these ones, but you can use them as utility discs for the flips and hyzer bombs. And you know that they will come back. This is the least stable, and this is the Team Grim X. It's a bit more stable, but beautiful throwing disc. Love it to pieces. And then we have Guld, same there. I keep these on super hyzer. easy distance, effortless, and very predictable flight. I look forward to the day that I can throw these far. I need to work on my technique, but the Guld is a very nice throwing, sort of flying distance driver. Try it, you like it. And then get out of jail card, the Rask 5-year run, first run. Also the utility disc, numero uno, I should say. I want to say. For those forehand flicks and hyzer bombs, whatever, tomahawks, the Rask can do it. It will come back any day, any time. So that was the bag for this time. Let's see in a couple of years what new discs might be in here. I mean, take care, guys.